Happy New Year. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name is Ryan, and for well over 10 to 15 years, probably 15 years now, I get stuff from garage sales, yard sales, flea markets, thrift stores, flip it for a few extra bucks online. It's New Year, and I've got some good sales. A bunch of bread and butter stuff, nothing. No, blow the doors open, but 1, 2, 3, 4 sales that happened over about everything I bought I got in December. So that's good. Sold a few things have been sitting around. That's good too. So let's jump into it. Starting off, what was the lowest? 6, 7. Okay. Only 2 low ones. I wish this guy had gone more. I thought it was going to. I think I started him at about 15. Elongated Man. This is a Justice League Unlimited action figure. Elongated Man. I think he came in a multi-pack. But $6. And a lot of these guys sell between the $6 and $15 range, depending on rarity and demand and timing sometimes. That sort of thing, but I've had him for a while. I actually think I got him off of a Poshmark lot that I made a few bucks on, not a ton of money, but I made a few bucks on that lot of about a dozen. I don't even know if it was a dozen Justice League Unlimited figures, and this was the lowest. I had a couple went for 12 to 15 bucks. So grab these if you see them. I would say $1 or less. Even if the paint's a little wonky, because there's still, and even your regular character, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman from the Justice League Unlimited series, even those will still tend to move. Next up is a shirt. Glad it sold. Thought this was going to go for a little bit more. I got this, I think, last year, near a little bit before Halloween. Thought it would sell around then. This is a sort of a Pac-Man Ghost shirt. I don't think it's an official shirt. I actually don't know that this is one of the Pac-Man figures. So I may have gotten the character wrong on it, but it went for $8. So, and I'm sitting on this a while, so glad to see it get out the door. And so those are actually 2 of my longest things I had, I think, that were in the store. That at least sold in this batch. And then we go from there to, let's see, we'll do this one. This is another Ben 10 Omnitrix. I sold one, I think, around Halloween. I got 2 of these about the same time. Ben 10 cosplay costume stuff tends to sell a lot of the Omnitrixes. This is like the cheapest you're going to get one almost that's in working condition. I was a little surprised it actually had sold. For a little bit more, but $15 on that one. I think I got these in a bin for like $0.25 a piece. So that's a real good hit on that one. All right, on to some of the stuff that got more. Been sitting on this one a little bit, I think, since this summer. Pancake Special. This is a sort of a 1960s young adult sports novel. If you're familiar with the style or whatever. Ex-library copy, $15. Again, went off my theory of old books sell. So, and actually I hadn't pulled this one down. I think I started this around 25. There weren't any great comps on it, but there were a couple out there, and I think I started mine as the lowest. And just to take a shot with it, there may have been a sold or 2 around. So now I just kind of kept drawing it down over the months, $1 or $2, a couple bucks at a time usually, and it wound up selling about $15. So good deal there. Next up, all the rest of my sales were all bought in December, so good stuff sells fast. From the Heresy box. Lost City of Zarahomba. It's a Mormon, sort of Mormon myth. I'll repeat myself. Book, something like a sort of a lost city theory or something that Joseph Smith had, and that's so that went, was that $20 or was it 15? I think it was about 15. Most of the stuff I got from, it was last week, batch of Mormon books that I picked up. 20. This went for 20. Most of the stuff I priced between 15 and $20. I think at minimum a bunch of them are going to go in the 8 to 10 range. But I decided to bump them up just to see if I could, because some of them were rare, there were some reasonable comps, and so that's where I start a lot of stuff sometimes. Next up, this is a fun book. $16. The New Complete Works of Josephus. This is the second Josephus book I think I've sold this year. He was a Jewish historian, general guy. Wrote a bunch. One of the first one of the first recordings of Christianity kind of after the New Testament, particularly outside of the Christian realm. So mentions Jesus in some of his writings. So first, second century type. So this is a copy of his works. I've picked up, I think every time I've picked him up, I've gotten something to sell. Usually between the $10 and $20 range. I think there's some editions that don't sell that well. This one did. So $16, bought it, paid $1. Finally, these were at the last chance, so I don't know if these things cost me $1 a piece. I got 4 of them and sold 3. Vivitar S100 rotary slide trays. All in good condition, all with a box. All these things are probably like barely used, if used at all. Snagged them. They didn't get through. If you see there, they were up for $3, which I might have still paid. Somebody should have paid that for them. But I wound up getting them for less than $1 a piece because they do by weight. At the last chance Goodwill, they filtered through somehow. And I sold 3 of them, 2 of them to one person for $30, and this one to one person for $15. I need to make sure I take the tags off. That removes certain irritations when you're buyers. So there you have it. Some really decent sales over the New Year's weekend, and that deserves a sip of coffee. Now, I did have a few finds that I need to get sorted and list. I actually dug something up the other day because I needed to. Where'd you go? Dug something up and I was like, oh, I need to list that. That's always fun to find. I sold Last Olympian hardcover, first edition, original print run. The paperbacks with this cover sell. I just sold 2 of these for $20 for $44. These are $20 to $25 books. So I need to get this one listed pretty quickly and get this one out the door and try and find more of those Last Olympian books. There's a series out now. The books I think are bumping up in price. I wonder if more of the Rick Riordan stuff is, and I got a batch of it I need to get listed. So Rick Riordan's hot right now. I'm not gonna say Bolo, but Bolo. All right, another bag. Last weekend, what we got? These are fun. This is. I know. It's actually. These old plastic cars. By Gay Toys Company, that's what the name of it was. A lot of them, I think you got Walmart, Kmart, and that sort of thing back in the day. Got this at a local one. Comps on this are around $15, but I've got 3 or 4 similar ones that I may lot them up. They're 118. They fit G.I. Joes, So there's a Kate. It used to be hotter back in the early 2000s. I would say before Facebook era, back when the new and the when you had internet boards and discussion boards and that sort of thing, and I was on a few, and there were customizers and GI Joe guys who liked stuff like this because it's the right size. It actually has some holes where the figures can fit in. So if you're a GI Joe collector out there and you don't know about these are really good kind of pieces. They fit. They're the right scale, and they're kind of designed for that 118, that 3 3/4 inch figure. So, and there's some similar ones. I've sold for like the red Ferraris. I've sold before for a lot more money. There are some rarer vehicles like these out there, and they're worth snagging, and they're fun pieces. So, I have good space for them right now. Hopefully, over the next couple weeks, I'll be clearing out a handful of the stuff in the background and have some more stuff for display. Next up, I think the rest of this is mostly books. Shel Silverstein, where the sidewalk is. Shel Silverstein books lot up well. I think these things go about the $5 range when they're lighted up. So, and he's got 3 or 4 books out there. A lot of times you actually can find them grouped together. So I've got another 2 or 3 Shel Silverstein books, and these are going to get listed in a lot together. Next up, there's a lot I need to redo. This is Gospel According to Paul, a study of the letter to the Romans. I do need to look it up to see if it sells individually, but this is by Convention Press, which is I think before Lifeway. This was the Southern Baptist Convention's publishing arm, was Convention Press, and there's a lot of books like the same size, same length, on a whole ton of different topics, a lot of commentaries, and a lot of Bible study stuff. And I've got 4 or 5 books sort of in this vein. And those tend to line up okay. I've had one that has been sitting probably a little too long, but I need to make sure. I don't even know if it's up for sale. So I need to get that squeezed out. Another. Okay, I'm keeping this one for now. Roger Zelazny, Knight of Shadows. This is an Amber from the Amber series, and if you're into sword and sorcery, or fantasy stuff, older fantasy stuff, more pulpy, a little more pulpy feel to it, Zelazny's a good one for you. Those Amber books are kind of fun, so they're worth snagging. So resale, not sure. Keeping it, throwing it in my collection. Let's see. That's. I got more Jim Butcher books. Just not too long ago, I got December, and they moved real quickly. I sold a handful of Jim Butcher books, and I need to actually go through my own collection and see if these are better than what I have. This Grave Peril's in real good shape, and I wonder if it's not better than the one I already have. So, but that's what these lot up real well, about $3 to $4 a piece. So that's going to be another good lot to build up with. Next up, okay, yeah. I got a bag down here. Anyway, Great Illustrated Classics. These are surprisingly, this is one of those books like, those sell? Yeah, these sell. Pretty well, actually. $3 to $5 a piece. There's a couple of titles. I think Pride and Prejudice sells for 10 or more. I've sold that one individually. There's a handful that sell individually. I may try... probably not. I've got another 3 or 4, so I got enough to lot up now. I hadn't found any in a while. Usually I find these. I do usually find these in batches of about 4, 5, or 8, and I just haven't tripped over any. I also don't pay more than 50 cents a piece for these because I've had a lot get away from me before at $1 a piece and didn't make a bunch of money, make reasonable money on it. So I only grab these at 50 cents a piece. What's aggravating is that I got these at another thrift store that sells books at 50 cents a piece. The Goodwill has these at their hardcovers, so they're $1 a piece, and they don't usually last till they have till the half price week. So, but grab them if you see them, 50 cents a piece. They line up really well in the $3 to $5 range. All right. And now I'm hoping to maybe make a lot of these. I've got a few of this. This is Chronicles of Narnia. These don't sell as well as they should. Now, if you do have a complete set, they do a little bit better. But they were 50 cents a piece, so I snagged them. I do think the smaller paperbacks sell better. I don't know if this set is properly numbered by publication order or not. It really irritates me that they publish these in chronological order because they don't work well chronologically. They read a lot better in publishing order. Certain things just make a little bit more sense. And Magician's Nephew is a really weird book. It's good, but it's weird, and you shouldn't read it first. If you've first time through these books, read Lion, Race on the Wardrobe first, and read them in publication order because they make a lot more sense. These aren't older copies. These are, I think, like the 90s publications. I think these aren't the good classic ones. Yeah, these are improperly numbered. So these are a later publication. But saw them 50 cents a piece, snagged them, add them to my batch and try to make a set. Next one. This is a fun little find, and I think it actually had some reasonable enough comps for me to grab it. Barbara Hambley, who has some fans, Beauty and the Beast, like the old TV show book. So this had a few comps with it. I think partially books like this sometimes related to TV shows actually tend to have a limited print run. And if that show had a cult following, like Beauty and the Beast kind of did, then the books can have a little bit of an elevated value because people are after them. So pay attention to TV show and movie books. Not a lot of them, but some of them can hold a little bit of value. So worth grabbing when you come across. Another Game of Thrones. I think I'm still sitting on one that I don't think it's sold yet. That I've got, but I've grabbed these and lot them up when I can. I think the hardcovers and the first edition paperbacks, the original cover before the TV show, those books sell a lot better than these covers, than like the TV show related stuff. So it was 50 cents, so I snagged it. That's about where I pay. That's about what I pay for these, unless I can get a full set at one time. So Game of Thrones. Next up, these will probably go to the flea market because I can get them. But I need to look them up. Cars, vehicles, Pixar cars stuff. If you do flea market stuff, I can get at my flea market $1 a piece for these, minimum. Some of them, they're rare. Occasionally you find some rare ones that sell that are worth putting on eBay if they go above about $6-7, and you can make some money that way. But if I can get $1 a piece for them, I'm usually pretty happy because that's cash, and it's not $6 and you gotta ship it. So grabbing those. I didn't look this one up, but this may go in the background for a little while. I got a shelf of stuff I may put up. It's just an old Matchbox command center vehicle. I need to look this one up to see if it's rare or something, but I like the look of it, so I snagged it. You're going to go right there. Right now. Finally, this was fun, so I grabbed it. And I think it was on the half price, too, which was kind of weird. This is some sort of pouch. It may be a small binocular pouch, but the straps on it were interesting, and it looked really pretty cool. So it opens, and it's sort of a padded interior. So something specific fit in here, and usually it looks like binocular case. Let's see, it looks almost like this goes through a belt loop. So that's pretty cool, and I may keep this. I don't know what to do with it, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm gonna try to look it up, see if I can find something similar on it. It was $3. I couldn't pass it up because it looked neat like that. So there's no brand on it. So I do some searches and some photo comparable searches. We'll see what comes up. But thought it was neat. Grabbed it. We'll see what comes of it. And that is all that. And I got work to do today. It's New Year. Resolution-wise, nothing completely different. I hit 50 subscribers, so thank all y'all out there for subscribing. This little old channel that haven't hit a stride. I don't know if I've hit a stride yet, or I get a subscriber every other day. So thank y'all for subscribing, those you have. If you haven't, you're watching this, you like the content, leave a comment, like, subscribe, recommend some of this out there. Hit that first milestone, second milestone. First, starting the channel. Second, 50 subscribers. Means doing something not wrong, at least. Doing it right, not sure, and haven't gone viral. I don't know if I want to go viral yet. Anyway, that's how it rolls. So, happy hunting this year. Let's find some stuff. Hope that you find some stuff to flip. That when you're out there looking at thrift stores and stuff, you find some useful stuff that you need. That's one thing I like doing. I like doing this stuff is you can find occasionally you trip over good quality stuff that you can hang on to and use yourself, and sometimes that makes it even more worthwhile. Is like, that's some cool stuff, and I didn't have to pay anything for it. That's always fun. So y'all be good out there. Let's go get it done.